Hi, my name's Brinded, and in this week's high performance analysis, I'm going to be looking at Daniel Sturridge from Liverpool, who's been in the press recently, being criticised that he is too fragile, too weak, he gets injured too much, too many injuries, and he's not playing for Liverpool or England. And recently, Klopp, who is the manager of Liverpool, has come out and said that he needs to deal with his pain in a better way. So let's look at this situation. I come across this a lot with athletes who are in pain. Normally they've had a reoccurring pain in a certain area, and when they go see the physio or the doctors, it hasn't been able to resolve it, or they've had surgeries and it hasn't resolved it. An important factor to look for when you're working with someone, let's say Daniel Sturridge, is he has a certain way that he deals with stresses in his life. These could be stresses from a new manager, not getting in his place, getting his place back or losing his place, relationship problems, money, finance, family, illness, you name it. There's an infinite amount of stresses that are coming in. Now, we have sort of 5-6 different ways that we deal with them. These are along the lines of lying to yourself. You say, oh, there's nothing wrong with me, or you forget. You go, oh, just put it aside and leave it alone. It has to go somewhere. You're just forgetting it. You practice forgetting too much, you're going to get Alzheimer's and dementia in the later years because you become a professional at it. Numbing. We numb ourselves, we use alcohol or drugs or meditation to numb the pain, and so we don't experience it. We can also shut ourselves down completely and suppress the emotions and pain and stresses that we're feeling. But with all of these, they are useful short term, but they start to add up and they start to cause problems. So they're a useful tool for short term, but long term you're going to get into big trouble. So you have to look at which force tools he's using. So I've worked with special forces soldiers, and I couldn't believe how good they were at dealing with the traumas and horrible experiences they've seen. They have a certain force tools that they use to deal with it, and they don't normally experience pain. They're tough as nails, but they're going to get that. It has to go somewhere. There has to be a payback from using this tool. So in later life, possibly they'll use alcohol or, get into depression in later life. With Daniel Sturridge, he's using suppression, he's shutting himself, he's numbing himself. And what's happening is it's not working anymore. He's pushing everything down into his body, and it's starting to hurt him. And there's a lot of pain in there. And when he gets injured or he feels a pain somewhere, the medical team are immediately scanning it and starting to say, oh, it looks like it could be a muscle tear. Now that could be any type of pain. It could be emotional pain, mental pain. It could be pain he's taking on from his family members, or he's empathizing with others' pain. He might be resonating with a player who's also was injured. So in scanning them, you're making it physical. And if it's not that, that's going to make it worse and worse. And I think that's something that he's been experiencing. So if I was working with Daniel Sturridge, I'd be looking at strengthening him to the force tools that he's using, and then looking at the stresses that he has in his life and then resolving them for him so he doesn't have to suppress them down into his body. Once you clear any sort of mental worries or anguish or fears or anything further out in his family, which is what I do every day with my clients, and it's very simple, then he will have no longer that pain that he's pushing down in his body. So in looking at Jurgen Klopp's comment that he needs to deal better with it, yeah, he's doing his best. He's using his tools. He needs someone to remove it for him, and that's what I would do for him. Also, he has mentioned that his father, I think his uncle, his grandfather, I read somewhere that he was saying that they were easily injured. So it's in the family, it's like hereditary. But you see, it could be their thinking that's similar. It could be the things have been like epigenetics, they've been encoded in their genes, like traumatic experiences being passed from son to son, and those need to be resolved because they're painful. So it's not as simple as just saying, oh, my dad got injured, my granddad got injured a lot. It's, as a high performer, you need to be precise and looking at the root cause of something, and it is sometimes physical, yes, but a lot of the time it is non-physical, and to ignore that is, you know, you're going to get into a situation where players just always in pain and never playing. Okay, so high performers need to be looking at this, and this is what I do with high performance. So hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks for listening, and until next week.